Now, when you walk into the ring with the #1 heavyweight of the world, you'll be ready, won't you? Why? Because I waited for 50 years to make you ready. You'll be able to spit nails, kid. Like the guy says, you're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crap thunder.
Hello, welcome back. It has been, I know, right? Chills. It's been a little minute since we decided to sit down and film a podcast. We missed a lot of stuff in the sports world. The whole football season, which I plan to do, fantasy, everything, college. But this big guy over here, he was down and out. He had a stroke. And nothing can hold him back. We're back and better than ever.
Oh, yeah.
We want to try to be consistent again. Baseball's about to pick up. The Olympics is full blown. Basketball.
Big game tomorrow morning. I can't wait.
Yeah.
USA, Canada.
Oh, that's
going to be at
awesome.
Donnybrook.
He's been really into that. I wish I could get into the hockey. I think it's been hard for me since the Flyers.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. What helps is that all the Olympic stuff's still in the daytime. You're working. I'm home watching it. So
yeah, but I got to be more.
And I wanted this matchup the whole time. Canada, USA.
It's going to be exciting.
And, the last time they played in the Four Nations or Five Nations, whatever it is, the start of the game, the Kachuk brothers each got in a fight.
I know.
And JT Miller. And so there was 3 fights in the first,
in the
10
first
seconds
minute. It was awesome. You feel like it's going to bring that energy again?
I don't know if it's going to start like that because they're so concentrated on winning.
Yeah.
But it's going to be physical. It's going to be testy. And
this is for gold, right?
And this is all great players. I mean, Canada's loaded. And I almost said Philly. The USA's.
I don't think the Flyers could win it.
No, I don't think so. Although I remember when the Broad Street Bullies were playing the Russian team, and they did a tour.
Yes.
They did the whole
this is good.
NHL thing, and they were killing all the teams, and the Flyers were the ones that put a stop to it. But they went off the ice.
So
it was funny.
Obviously, Canada's currently favored.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I didn't even see that.
You know what? Let me check on the odds.
Yeah.
I pulled up the odds of a few things, but that's...
Yeah, I didn't even look at that, but I have, as a matter of fact, I hit on one of my same game parlays on the last game. On $7, I hit for $6.58. I had the Brady Kachuk scoring a goal, and I actually included Canada was losing 2-1 at the time. And they were plus 144 on the money line, so I put that in the parlay.
Wow.
And $7 paid $600.
So, for example, DraftKings right now, Canada's favored by 1.5. But
no, it's whatever the money line is.
Oh, okay.
Because 1.5, that's pucks, 1.5, and then there's odds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really what is the
minus 120 Canada.
Oh, so they're not heavy favorites.
87% of the bets on DraftKings were placed for US. That's
wow.
So
I bet you it's not the same in Canada.
No. I think that will be. What time is that? Oh, you got to get up and at 'em for that.
8.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Just after 8 or 5, either 8 or 8:10 or 8:30.
And this is the semifinals or the finals?
This is the finals.
This is for gold.
Actually, they were playing. I didn't see the
know.
result, but Finland was winning 2-0. They were playing the bronze medal game just now. So, but I was kind of just keeping an eye on that game a little to see which. I think Finland was the tougher semi matchup.
Yes.
And they were beating Canada up until the end of the game, and then Canada got a goal. With 35 seconds left in the game.
Oh,
scored.
wow.
Yeah.
As far as Winter Olympics, is there anything else that's caught your attention or not really?
Yeah.
The hockey's been the best for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm particularly like the speed skating.
Yeah.
And
Jake
the
Paul's girlfriend's
U.S. male scored, or no, he had 2 golds. Although then he was favored to win the last one. He got a silver. That was the 1,500 meter.
Okay.
And
I'll be honest, I haven't. I've heard.
and the other thing was that half pipe
Yes.
skateboarding
Yeah.
or skiboarding. They that's been incredible. Just the air these people get, and they do like
Mm-hmm.
I think 1460, 1260s, 14 so, and they spin so many times, so it's that's impressive.
So, I'll be honest. I really, like he said, it's on during the day. I haven't watched much
Even
Olympics.
figure skating I watched, but our guy, the favorite, was up by so many points, and he fell like 2-3 times, and he got out of the medal round. But
Oh wow.
yeah, but he's like they call him the quad god.
So the Olympics have overall, I think, been good, and that's something to look forward to tomorrow. I will be up and ready to watch that.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
the thing I want to watch. Is that
For
final
sure.
is going to be good, and it's going to be, definitely both teams want to go out there and win that thing.
Yeah. So I figure we should talk about the Sixers since they're kind of full blown in their season and they're in their home stretch, I guess, essentially. I mean, there's 27 games left in the season. They currently stand in 6th place in the East. They're like 11 and a half games back of first. They're not getting first. They're lucky if they aren't in the play-in at this rate. They lost 4 straight, I believe. The record since December without Joel. Yeah, they 4 straight.
Yeah, that's right.
They lost the game post All-Star break, which I was really hoping that, they were just being real cautious with Embiid, give him the extended All-Star rest, and then we'd get good news about him playing Thursday. People, I think, are overreacting in a sense. I don't have a clip of it, but we do have another clip. You don't have to play it yet, Rye, but Drew Hanlon, Joel's trainer, and even Nick Nurse said himself, he would play if it was a playoff game. So as much as they need these wins, if they could stay afloat to the 6th seed,
It's all about what you do in the playoffs.
I don't care.
And he's shown it right now.
Yes.
Now, I'm always, every game I watch, I'm just,
I know.
he goes to the floor so many times.
He's less than that, though.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's changed a little bit.
Because he's just such a good shooter.
Incredible.
And he's been playing dominant when he's been playing. So
He's out.
get that ready for the playoffs. And then, this team has to learn to play without him because maybe in the playoffs he may miss a game here. As long as he doesn't have anything catastrophic, I think he's going to, they can be dangerous. They definitely can.
They can.
And, of course, you know who I like numbers. I call them the 77ers.
Oh, my God. What? You know what? Run the Rising Star clip. This is awesome. He's just, he's amazing.
This kid, night in, night out.
And listen, these are the top first and second.
Wait, so is this the
Rising Star where he hit the game-winning shot?
And he had the last 10 points in the game.
Oh my gosh, I was watching this live. I was so hyped.
And then in the final game, he hit a 3, and then he won him at the line.
Clutch free throws. And what I love about this, Maxey was courtside the whole time and ran on the court and he's like MVP. Yeah. Like you could tell they are like this. And I know
that is a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
It really is. And I love it. I mean, that was the best draft pick that you could have got.
Both of them.
The way he plays defense. He can shoot threes. He's a high flyer if he wants to be.
He works. You could tell he works. One of his biggest question marks going into the draft was his shooting. Me and you both said that. He can't shoot. And then, that really hasn't been a problem.
No.
It's crazy.
And not only that, it's clutch.
Yeah.
They have a tough stretch. They need something. Boom. He's the guy that hits a three-pointer and, with somebody in his face. And it's ice-water in his veins.
They were showing odds for Clutch Player of the Year. They're saying Ant Edwards will get that. I didn't even know that was an award. But before it was Maxey, and I'm thinking to myself, I think Maxey, I always thought of him as clutch.
But there is some statistic.
But I think Edgecombe's more clutch.
He's actually number 2 in the league.
Yeah. No, this year, as a rookie, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
He's got confidence, and he's not shy. I love it.
Yeah. So the thing that, prior to the trade deadline, and that's the thing where it's been the mindset and attitude on the Sixers was the vibes were pretty good, and then Joel goes down, and then the trade deadline happens, and they do nothing. They duck the tax. They pretty much give Jared McCain away to OKC.
I actually saw a little clip on ESPN.
Yeah.
And they actually said the best move in the trade deadline was Jared.
Which is saying a lot because
Jared
James Harden was
McCain.
dealt and
But he had 21 points last night for OKC.
off the bench.
You know, so
And,
yeah.
The Daryl Morey saying that I'm confident we sold high was like a total unnecessary like jab at a kid who, by the way, the team loved. So they were all really upset about that. I don't get it. I don't get it. So they
He's a good young kid too.
Yeah.
All that really Maxey,
Right.
Edgecombe, and I think McCain. And to tell you the truth, I like Grimes.
Yeah.
But maybe
I like him too as
if
a
you
role
think
player.
about it, it's either McCain or Grimes.
Right.
And
right.
then but the youth, you can.
They bought in on Grimes. And listen, I'm okay with that. I think he fits his role nicely.
He's a scorer
but
off the bench.
I feel like McCain could be, in the long run, like, first of all, he's a great shooter and a playmaker. So that hurt. And I think Joel publicly asking the franchise to not do that, and then they do that. Maybe he's like, if I'm not feeling great for a game or two, I'm not going to put my body on the line when they can't, a billionaire who owns 3 sports teams isn't going to spend a few extra million for the better of the team.
Yeah. But, Embiid hasn't been playing a lot of games.
No,
So,
okay.
I want to, he's got to start. What he started when he was drafted, he missed his first 2 years.
2 years.
And then the
Yeah, that
third
was rough.
He only played some.
That was
and
rough.
Then he started playing, and then now he's got a lot more injuries. So I want him out there.
Yeah, and in the beginning of the season, I was encouraged by their play without him. It was weird. It was like they're better without him for a while. And now it's like back to we desperately need him on the floor.
Yeah, and actually, I think the first few times he was playing this year, they actually weren't playing better without him because it is a different game with him in it. You got to feed him the ball more, whereas before they were playing a little faster without him. But then they started to gel, and now it's a good mix, and he's putting up basically 30. I don't know exact stats, but
He was averaging 30.
Pretty sure he's averaging over 30. Yeah. Especially during this stretch that he's been back and playing.
Yeah,
and I think he played like 20 games in January, or he played most of the games in January. He had
played since December. He had played any game that wasn't a back-to-back until this recent stretch.
Yeah.
So, and they're feeling it.
Although again, but supposedly this was not the knees, but
it's a shin now from rehab.
But who knows? I don't believe everything.
No. One thing with the Sixers, don't believe what they say. But also, I don't think it's that serious. I really don't. I think they're babying him to a degree. Tonight they go ahead and they're in New Orleans. He's already out.
What time's that game?
7. I think this is a good opportunity for them to have a bounce back. They really desperately need it. I think Maxey's going to go crazy.
But again, no Embiid.
No Embiid. And Derek Queen.
And of course, no George. What?
Yeah, Derek Queen, their center. He's pretty good.
What about him?
He's,
well, I thought you said, I was saying no Embiid, and then Queen's playing.
Yeah.
But I saw somebody really good for them is not playing. It's Trey Murphy.
Oh, he's on my fantasy.
And he's a stud, yeah.
And, the thing about New Orleans, they're not good, but they're like bouncy, athletic team with Bay and...
No, it's gonna. It's gonna be a game. Again, now we don't have that edge with Embiid, but like you say, also, Queen's good.
As much as people hate on George, I think we're starting to feel the absence of him because he's a 6'8" wing that can defend and shoot.
And score.
That's what I mean.
That's that additional score.
He does fill his role pretty good on this team.
Because now you have to depend on Oubre, and which I like him. Another guy plays defense and has a good game, but he has some nights he doesn't quite score. If he's cold, then that hurts because you're using him, and now he's not coming through. But that's when I was actually the last game I was thinking about George.
Yeah, they
even
really
though I'm sick of him too because he's never out there. But I did like how he was playing.
He was playing great
prior to the suspension.
Bessie's played as a Sixer, and then that happened. 17 games left in that suspension. I think he's eligible March 25th. So really, that's
maybe he was playing good because he
knew.
Well, he had the juice in him.
They're saying it was a ban. Who knows?
They always
They're
say
never
that.
going to come out and
They
say it.
yeah.
But they were
It
saying.
was allergy medicine.
Okay. I mean, come on.
Oh, it was Adderall?
That's what I heard.
But my thing is, this is my one thing I'm going to say on that, because this could be a controversial. It's like you're getting paid $50 million a year. No matter what you're putting in your body, if you don't
How
know,
much you getting paid?
$50 million.
Oh, I thought you said 50,000.
Oh, no. You need to do your due diligence. Like, come on. Like, that's ridiculous. That is just.
Yeah, and you
absurd.
have personal trainers and all that
And
kind of stuff.
agent, like if you.
I would never run it. You'd always run it by somebody. You have a professional that you work for, so that's hard to.
The Sixers have a back-to-back. They play New Orleans tonight, and then they travel to Minnesota.
Oh, they have a back-to-back?
Yeah, they play Minnesota tomorrow. That's my other thing is Embiid's out tonight. Maybe they're saving him for Minnesota. That's a much tougher matchup.
And then that way you got an extra day to rest. Yeah.
And then they do have Tuesday, they're in Indiana, and then they come home for Miami on Thursday. And then their big matchup that was flexed to a primetime game next Sunday against the Celtics. It's speculation that Tatum might come back because it wasn't a primetime game, and now it's in Boston too.
Yeah.
So
I like to have a meeting for that.
yeah. And really at that point, like we're a game and a half or a half a game up on Orlando.
One thing I will say about the Sixers, they show they can play with anybody. Mm-hmm. It's just that night in and night out. But isn't that the NBA?
Right.
They're really talking a lot now about trying to implement a rule that'll alleviate some of the tanking.
Yeah.
It's just so bad and it's so obvious and so.
I agree. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on this. My thing is the Sixers did it for a while. OKC did it for a while and it worked.
There's two
Detroit did
train of
it.
thought. One is it's not dumb to do it for the teams that.
Right.
It's bad for the NBA to have rules that make that.
But I think because Silver talks so much about it now, people talk about it more. People quietly did it. OKC quietly did it.
I heard one. Actually, Charles Barkley was saying this, and I kind of.
I like a lot of his opinion.
But it's everybody that's in the lottery gets one ping pong ball because actually they said the team that's had the most ping pong balls has only won twice in like 20-some years or whatever.
Right.
So it's.
Yeah.
That part's not there. So you put one. So at one point,
right.
If you know you're in the lottery, you're not tanking to be, that many more balls.
Yes.
And you keep losing, and it maybe gets rid of some of that.
Well, for example, like last year, it was the most rigged. Like if Silver wants to say that, last year was the most rigged draft ever. The Mavericks were supposed to be a good team. They trade Luka out of nowhere. No one saw that coming, and then they get flagged. There's teams like Utah and whatnot that they were just terrible. And it's like those teams are continuing to. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Something has to be done.
Well, and actually, what some teams are doing, they even get good talent. Like I think Washington.
Yes.
They have Trae Young.
Yeah, they have Trae Young who won't play.
And AD.
Yes. Yep. AD will not play.
And they have a good young core, and they're playing
George.
They can score. Yeah. But they're tanking games by not playing those guys. And then next year, they're going to get the draft picks and have those guys. So like they could be actually a team on the move next year.
Oh, them?
But it's just a strategy now.
Then
you got to do it.
Like Utah, too. They got, what's his name, Jaren Jackson. They have Lauri Markkanen. They have Keontae George, who just hasn't been playing. And then they're gonna get it. So
they did it in who didn't they get a player that was good in a trade? Utah.
Yeah, they got Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jaren Jackson Jr. But they had one game where they went in overtime and they didn't play any minute. Him, Markkanen, and they didn't play. Yeah. That's called tanking.
The definition of it. So and people were really mad about that one. Because in the fourth quarter, So just to kind of wrap that up, where things currently stand, they're in 6th place in the East. Like I said, they're 2.5 games back of the 5th seed Raptors. They have 27 games left in the season. Just for the heck of it, I did pull up way too early DraftKings odds. They're still projected to be like I looked at the Eastern Conference winners. Cavs are plus 300 to win the Eastern Conference. All of a sudden, they're the favorites because they won 6 in a row with Harden. the honeymoon phase will eventually end. It's inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We've been there, done that. Plus 330.
You won't hit 3-pointers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You never.
Plus 330, Celtics, second best odds. Pistons with the third best odds, plus 340. Knicks with the fourth best.
Which is stupid because Detroit's the best team in the East.
We said that about the Cavs last year. They were really good in the regular season. Plus 390, Knicks fourth, and the Sixers fifth, plus 1100. So, I don't know. I it's hard to really
think about if we have our big three. It's literally more than three though. If you have
VJ big four,
Embiid, Maxey, and George, that's three. But then if you look at the rest, is all going to be the complimentary cast. You got Edgecombe and Oubre all playing good, and even the Barlows and the
which they signed.
Everybody that goes in there plays hard. Barlow always gets a steal or two in there. He plays good defense. He struggled. Block shot. Yeah, but I think it's a little bit because he started losing a little bit of playing time.
Yes.
And I think he's got to adjust that. You've got to play your role.
I like them signing Walker to a standard deal. I just feel like he earned it. He works really hard when he's
another
in there.
guy. If you're going to put him in, he'll play hard.
That's the thing. Walker and Barlow will give you like all out dog for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't mind that.
Yeah. Well, Barlow's probably more because he actually starts.
Yes. Yeah. No, he does start.
Yeah.
He's starting.
But without George, as you look at the more minutes go to Oubre, who starts too. But
who I love.
If you
sorry.
I noticed this thing lately with the Sixers. You look because without George, then you have a little less depth.
Yeah.
But the way we play D. Sometimes Oubre, Edgecombe, a few of these guys get in a little bit of foul trouble.
Yes.
I don't mind it too much because I'd rather see that than, it's funny because I say all these guys play D, but then you watch some nights and it's terrible. Like how many layups and dunks.
Well, we were one of the worst transition defense teams for a while. I don't know where that still stands, but that was a problem. That was a problem with Embiid when he was really struggling, but I think it's gotten a lot better with him. Yeah, so, I mean, like you said, big three, big four, really.
Gotta throw Edgecombe.
Will they throw it all together? I mean, George should be fresh. What version of him are we going to get? I don't know. What version of Embiid are we going to get in the playoffs? Let's hope we make the playoffs. One, I think they will.
By the way, last game, were you watching?
Yes.
I was, at one point, I said, who's number 20? Because he's out there.
Campaign. By the way, I do like him, but basically we traded McCain for him, if you really think about it. And I don't like that overall. I think McCain's upside's much higher.
I guess we have some youth on the team now.
Yeah.
So maybe they went with the experience, but because actually, was it a couple of years ago? It wasn't last year.
I loved him.
We weren't. Yeah, he came up. When we were playing.
And actually, he played well for New York last year. He's a good player. He comes in and he is like
but
that.
But the upside of I could see McCain's been off a little this year.
Yeah.
But he was injured too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And to see how he played as a rookie last year, and you're looking the way now we're loaded in the backcourt. I'm going to tell you right now, if they do anything but get length or height or size
in the draft,
you got to go.
Absolutely.
Even if you got a guy that's
absolutely
6 picks better than somebody else, I still want to get the big guy.
Do not touch a 6'2" guard.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You honestly, I don't know. Do you go?
I mean, I guess you can't have too many wingmen, but
no,
you can't just have them all. Like you look when we don't have Embiid, that's the problem is that we're small.
Well, even with Embiid, we're not a great rebounding team. No. Get somebody who is phenomenal at that.
He plays outside all the time. Yeah.
And honestly, even when he was his best, was he a great rebounder? I don't really ever remember him being.
No, I mean he's a double guy for sure.
Yeah, at one point he.
But I mean, he's not the rebounder Drummond is.
No.
And I don't get it. They always look to not play him.
Yeah, I know.
And I like Bono too, but he's not as smart as Drummond.
Drummond, no.
He gets a little bit out of control.
Bono's wildly
Drummond
athletic.
is just a rebound machine. And I think our problem is defensive rebounding.
Yeah.
When we don't play well, it's the other team gets 3-4 chances on a trip, and that you can't do.
That actually loses games for us.
What does
single-handedly.
Reggie Miller always say, and the broadcasters are saying?
What?
Offensive rebounds lead to threes.
Oh, yeah.
When you get the rebounds, they lead to three-pointers.
Because it's find the guy who's wide open. And
it usually somebody is because it's
Yep.
it was a rebound. So
Yep. All right. Well, I think overall the outlook is where okay. If you had to pick right now, where do you see them ending in the standings, and how far do you we know what their ceiling is, but what do you what's your gut telling you? And we'll leave it on that with the Sixers, and then we'll touch briefly on the Phillies.
I mean, quite honestly, I don't think they're going to finish any higher than 5th or 6th.
I'm okay with that.
But I don't. That to me doesn't.
That's a win for this year.
I think they can finally, for a chance, be a team that's
healthy,
underdogged in the playoffs and be dangerous.
Yeah, you know what? Every time that Embiid's made the playoffs and underperformed, they were like a 1 or a through 3 seed, and they underperformed where they've got upset and all these things. I like.
And the Knicks are brave when they're they're the underdogs and the momentum's their way.
Yeah.
Maybe for a change, it's on the other foot. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But the Phillies, they actually had their first spring training game today against the Blue Jays. Did you even happen to check in on that?
I was watching it for a while, but
it's
same thing. It was no runs. They were down. But you know what was weird? It was on the NBC Sports.
Yeah.
Which I always call Comcast, but they had the Toronto announcers, and it was kind of annoying. They acted like they won the World Series, and it's like, okay, you went to the World Series,
and you
lost to the same team that we lost to,
right?
And we lost on a fluke play, kind of, I mean, our pitching in that
I'll never forget that
series
play.
Was great. You just look at how good Ohtani is, and they just held him in check for the whole series.
I'm getting chills. He did nothing. He did nothing. That is an all-time.
Every time you're like, oh, he's due. They just struck him out.
That's what.
He had games on 4 strikeouts and some of the.
And actually, somebody pointed this out, which is funny. We actually had a higher run margin because we had that one game where we killed them than the Blue Jays. Because I think we won like 11-4.
Well, you know what's another thing? You think I don't like losing.
Ranger. I hate losing Ranger.
But think about in the playoffs.
He was good.
In the playoffs, we didn't have Wheeler, so in a way, we still that's an exchange. We'll have that, and we're going to see if Nola has a comeback year. But I don't think you can rely on him to be like. It's not like Nola 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Well, also, as much as people rag on Dombrowski, and trust me, there's a lot to say, that Luzardo contract, he was phenomenal in the postseason.
No,
Luzardo's awesome.
I didn't know he was going to play like that.
No.
Like that.
And I think we got a real, true Sanchez, Luzardo, Wheeler. That's
a big
a big 3.
It's almost like 3 aces. I don't know if Luzardo's an ace, but he's a 2.
Hedge, ace.
But now, if say Christopher Sanchez makes another little step better, he's an ace.
He was impressive.
Yeah, he was.
And then
who pitched in the game we went to? Was it him?
Yes, it was a Sanchez game. It was a Sanchez game. Yeah. We saw Wheeler a couple years prior, who pitched a great, and Sanchez that was an exciting game. That was a walk-off.
That was fun.
A walk-off Trey Turner for my dad's 60th.
Yeah.
Against the Braves in late August last year. And we saw the Duran entrance, which was another great pickup. He's back.
And they have him this year.
Yeah. And their bullpen marginally probably improved a little bit in the offseason. You know a little more of the names they picked up.
I don't really know much about them.
Well,
I haven't really looked at it that much yet because
it's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But one thing that overall I think the Phillies are going to do this year.
And don't forget, I was in the hospital
during the playoffs.
Dodgers series, which was annoying. I was.
He couldn't do his studying. Yeah. Right. And
I wasn't feeling good. And I had just so many distractions.
Things going on.
Things going
they
on.
were bound to lose. the big guy was down, and like he couldn't even watch the games. The TV this big, nurses doing everything.
And I really didn't have the ability to use my phone.
I know, it was terrible.
But yeah, that was.
The vibes were down. Normally, we would have been celebrating, drinking together, all hype. Phillies we would have had a parade.
But the nurses were coming in and giving me shots and all my medicine and that. And it's like, get out of my way.
It was actually the worst.
I'm trying to watch the game.
I know, and I actually came and watched a game with him the one night in the hospital, game 1, and they looked terrible. They actually were up and then totally
That was depressing. I was in the hospital. You were going home sad and they lost.
God, it couldn't have gotten any worse.
No, but
I'm also excited to see them implement the young guys this year. They're saying that's pretty much going to happen.
Well, one thing, I did watch the game because it's just cool. Baseball's on. It's snow. We're getting a nor'easter this weekend.
I know.
And I love the fact that baseball was on. But I watched the lineup had a lot of guys missing. And I think people are playing in the World.
The World Classic. Yeah.
World Classic, so you're going to miss some people. But they had Crawford, Adalis, Garcia.
Oh, okay.
I think Sosa and fourth was Otto Kemp. But I watched Crawford. That's the guy he was leading off. And it's funny because they were talking about his speed and he was like turning the show Bond a few times.
Yeah.
And they said he's going to do that a lot. They said his speed's elite.
Yes.
But then he got a pitch inside and he hit it out of the park, but it just was foul. And it was a line drive. And then the next time he got a strike, he hit one off the wall in center field. So he showed some power, but I don't think he's
Aiden Miller is the other guy that I'm excited.
He wasn't in the lineup.
Okay.
But I forget. There's a few guys I don't even know.
Painter, Miller, and Crawford.
Marshawn was catching.
Yeah. Overall, I think that they're going to be another 90+ win team. If you don't think? I mean, the NFL.
You know what? It's hard to tell right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't change too much. I do like Adalis Garcia, but I didn't realize he was going to be such a low batting average guy and a high strikeout. Yeah. So that's sort of what our team is made up for. And I don't think he has that much pop for that. But who knows? He was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he was the division MVP or something, wasn't he?
In the postseason.
They had good numbers. So we'll see if he gets back to doing that. And then we're counting on maybe Harper playing elite. I hate to bring up a subject.
I was going to talk about that briefly. And actually, that might be a good thing to add.
What that was a nice little I'm your Ed McMahon.
Honestly, he's like, I'm not prepared,
Johnny
but
Carson.
I mean, he really sounds like a.
You don't know who that is.
Listen, he could roll out of bed and talk sports. He's like, I'm not prepared.
That's what I did.
So come on, that's like
all. So bad.
So the Harper Dombrowski, I've heard a lot of opinions on both sides. I think most people are siding with Harper. From what I feel, Dombrowski is out of line. Dombrowski has first of all, the disaster offseason, trade deadline last year, did nothing. Disaster postseason, giveaway Ranger, do nothing. You lose out on Bichette, and he goes to the Mets.
Yeah.
And then you go public saying that about your superstar, essentially. And like, do you want him to be disgruntled? And
did you tell him what they said? Or?
Well, he said Harper wasn't. He's not sure if Harper could play at an elite level again. You have the clip. Here's Harper's recent spring training comments.
Thanks to Ryan.
Thank you.
It was kind of wild, the whole situation of that happening. I think the big thing for me was, when we first met with this organization, it was, hey, we're always going to keep things in-house, and we expect.
And that I agree with.
I agree.
And so, when that didn't happen, kind of took me for a run a little bit. So, I don't know. It's part of it, I guess. It's kind of a wild situation that even happening. Obviously, I didn't have the year that I wanted. Obviously, I didn't have the postseason I wanted. My numbers weren't where they needed to be. I know that, and I don't need
I
to be
never saw
motivated
this
to be
whole
great,
thing.
in my career or anything else. So that's just not a motivating factor for me.
He said anything motivating.
For Dave to come out and say those things, it's kind of wild to me still.
Still. So those comments were made like right fresh after they lost to the Dodgers. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this is months later. Harper is still upset about it.
I got you.
So
yeah.
think that worries me a little bit of the future of like Harper might not end his career at Philly, because if things are going to continue to go down this path.
I'm a Harper guy. I like him.
Love Harper.
I feel like he's totally embraced the city and embraced his team and wants it. But is it too much on his shoulders right now? Although, what was it? Maybe 3 years ago, we were saying he was Mr. October, right?
And the best player in Philly.
And one of the clubs, so yeah, a lot of it to me is injuries. You know, it's when you're not 100%, these things happen. But as violent as he swings the bat, if you're only going to hit 20-some homers, you got to do something different.
Yep.
Shorten up, hit the ball on the meat of the bat more. Battle it up
and
more.
I think some people's...
He doesn't have to swing that hard to hit home runs.
Because one last thing on that, a couple years back after they had that postseason run where they actually ended up losing in 7 games to the Diamondbacks in like a collapsing fashion. And that was their year, I thought, to win the World Series. He publicly went and asked for an extension when he had 7 or 8 years left on his deal. So that wasn't kept in house, if you want to play it both ways, because that was public information of requesting that. And ever since then, people have like speculated like his attitude's been a little different, and now this. So I'm just interested to see like his vibes and energy and facial expressions and effort, like early in the season and on. I do think Harper goes all out day in, day out. But
because I'm going to tell you one thing with baseball: when you press, you don't play as well.
Right.
You have to play with an edge. You have to play with confidence. It's all about confidence in baseball.
It's going to be tough to pass the juggernaut Dodgers. Regardless, like you could play your best.
You look at. I didn't expect us to be able to play that much with the Dodgers. Now, as much as I say our pitching controlled the best hitting team in baseball.
I think we have better starting pitching.
But their pitching also dominated us. That's the only problem I had, and we did not improve that.
Well, we didn't have Wheeler. Wheeler is like Cy Young candidate.
By the way, watching the exhibition game today, Toronto wasn't talking too good about losing Bichette too.
Yeah.
So can you imagine if we would have got him?
That, I know.
That would have been nice. But.
So looking forward to the season starting regardless. I do think baseball is fun. It's just that time of year, the weather starts to break, and the Phillies do have a good team. Despite not making improvements, I do think that they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to win a lot of games, and I'm looking forward to it. So I think we talked about a lot. So we'll close out on that note. Thanks for tuning in.
Nice little comeback.
Yeah.
Don't call it a comeback.
The comeback bigger than the setback. Who says that? Mike's situation. He has some funny.
Oh boy, we're quoting the Sitch now.